Hello and welcome to my Warlock Green Fire successful attempt. This is my first one, and I used another guide on YouTube, and I thought I would show you my reaction to that and hopefully put out a couple more tips that I didn't quite realize that took me a few attempts to really get the handle of. In this video, I'm a really fresh 90, pretty new to Warlock still. I do have a couple LFR pieces, which was pretty helpful. I got one of the weapons. To start off the fight, I just throw a focus on the boss, which just helps me keep track of that. At the beginning of the fight, you really want to just do as much DPS as you can. And so at the beginning of this fight, I'm going to do a fear on the Pit Lord as soon as he comes out, and that buys us some extra time to DPS.
2, 1.
Also, if you want to do some more DPS, you can also summon your Doom Guard. Again, just another way to get a little bit more damage out there. Alright, so now he's summoning the Pit Lord, and so I'm just going to throw in some extra damage in there, and then as soon as he comes out, I'm going to fear him, and that's going to buy me 20 seconds of a fear. And during that time, I just do more DPS. Now in this video, you'll see that the Pit Lord got feared behind the portal, which ended up causing me some line of sight issues. But if that happens, just make sure you get there behind the portal so you're pretty close to him, and you should be able to get the enslave off. Now once you get the enslave off, you want to set the Pit Lord on the boss, and you want to try to stand on the opposite side as the Pit Lord, and the reason for that is to get the dispels from his Fel Flame. Now you saw that the boss is casting Curse of Doom there, and I have the Pit Lord stun charge, and the purpose of that is just to postpone the Doom a little bit longer. Now for the imp phase, it's pretty simple. You want to drop a couple Rain of Fires, and then when the last imps come out, I like to do a stun, and then Fire and Brimstone them down the rest of the way. They should go down pretty quickly. Once they're down, you want to switch back to the boss. Make sure you turn off Fire and Brimstone so you don't lose your embers, and obviously you want to keep up on your dispels. You should be doing that throughout the whole fight. I use the teleport method for avoiding the chaos bolts. Some people might do the Sacrificial Pact thing, but I don't think that's really the best way anymore. During Cataclysm, you have to use the Pit Lord's charge stun, and the nice thing about that is after you do the charge, that stun that happens for like I think 4 or 5 seconds, the boss takes a lot more damage, so you want to try to get your chaos bolts queued up and ready to go for that segment. When the Phalangers come out, you want to send your Pit Lord to the other side of the portal and drop a couple Rain of Fire so you get aggro. These guys will dispel your enslave, so you got to be very careful. You want to try to not move very much, just in case if you turn them, if they get sight of the Pit Lord, they will dispel it. Now, I used Havoc to get them down, put Havoc on the first one, and just send a Chaos Bolt into the second one, and that should kill the first two pretty quickly. Get them down to like about 20%. You might have to throw something else in there, but once they're down to 20%, you want a Shadow Burn so you can build up some members. At this point, I'm doing pretty good on my dispels. I'm in pretty good position, and I'm using my Grimoire of Sacrifice ability to dispel myself. Now there, you notice I dismissed the Pit Lord, and the purpose of that is to sort of reset the timer on the enslave. And then I'm going to take the portal, and that's going to drop aggro on me. And before I did that, I sent the Pit Lord onto the Doom Guard that the boss summoned. That's just to get a little bit of initial aggro. After the Pit Lord's been on for a couple seconds, you can switch him back to the boss, and the Doom Guard won't ever bother you again. He'll just stay on your Pit Lord. You can see at this point I have way too many debuffs, and so hopefully you do a better job at dispelling yourself. And again, you want to do that by being in really good position so that the Pit Lord's breath is hitting you and that you're using your dispel from Grimoire of Sacrifice on cooldown. Now it's imp time again, and again you just want to drop some Rain of Fire. One thing I didn't mention the first time around is I really like using the Pit Lord's heal during this phase because it's a really strong heal and you can do it while you're casting. And I think, you know, during the beginning of the summons of the imps, it might grab aggro on them a little bit, so you might take a little bit less damage. Now here I would have liked to cast Bolt, but I know the Fell Hunter phase is coming up soon, and you have to make sure you have Embers for that because the first two you're going to take down with pretty much a Chaos Bolt, and if you don't have the Ember for that, then you're going to be in trouble. So again, you see I push the put the Pit Lord on the other side of the portal. I'm going to drop some Rain of Fires in the doorway. It's a little slow on that one. And again, put the Havoc up, and hopefully get 2 for 1 almost. And if they don't quite go down, you can throw a couple Incinerates and then Shadow Burn them down. I took the Glyph of Havoc for this situation because it basically doubles the amount of spells that you can replicate with Havoc. And it adds cooldown, makes it a longer cooldown, but it doesn't affect you in this fight because the Fell Hunters are so far apart. And in case you haven't noticed, that Cataclysm has to be charged by the Pit Lord in order for it to not go off. Now in this part, this end of the fight, you notice I'm just not doing as much damage, and it's kind of just because there's a lot more stuff going on, a lot of stuff to dispel, a lot of guys to kill. Now this time around I don't get rid of my Pit Lord because I really don't want to have to get aggro on all these different guys that are out, a couple Doom Guards. So I just send him on the new Doom Guard for a few seconds and I'm going to put him back on the boss. So I was able to get a couple Chaos Bolts on this charge, which is really good. Again, that's the most damage you can do, and after that charge stun, you're going to do a lot more damage, so that's a great time to Chaos Bolt. So you can see in the middle of my screen my dispel, my debuffs, and that purple one, that Curse of Ultimate Doom, is about to get me, and that ends up killing me in this attempt. And that's really just the timer for this fight. You should be able to do it before that, and if you're better at doing DPS than I am, I think you'll make it without hitting this. But you can say I almost have the boss 20%, so he's almost in Shadow Burn range. And I teleport to get away, and I reset my teleport up. I just try to do that every single time I'd use the teleport, so that it doesn't go away, and it's normally on a 6 minute. It'll go away, despawn in 6 minutes. Now the boss is almost dead here, and luckily I put Soulstone on. Now, if you use Soulstone, you have to re-enslave the Pit Lord, which is pretty tough, because then you got like 4 guys aggro on you. And the imps are coming out here, and I just want to get the boss down, so I throw a Rain of Fire on the imp so I can have embers, and I just want to focus on the boss as much as I can. So you're going to see me reapply Rain of Fire on them, but I'm not going to do any other DPS to them, and I'm just spamming Shadow Burn as much as I can. And this is a pretty good strategy on the last wave of imps. Now you can see I was going over to make sure I was in range of my portal, and because I died it wasn't there, and I didn't realize that at the time. And so I ended up using the Pit Lord stun there, knowing I wouldn't have for Cataclysm, but knowing I'd die otherwise. And luckily, I killed him about halfway through his Cataclysm cast. And at this point, you're going to, the quest guy's going to run in, you can turn in the quest, and then you can click on the boss here and siphon the green energy from him, and then you got it. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Again, I'm going to link the video that I used, the guide that I thought was very helpful, in the description. Feel free to ask me any questions, and again, definitely refer to that other video. It's very, very helpful. Thanks for watching.